Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the CEO of Blackberry, John Giamatteo, with us here.
Thanks, Flo.
Great to have you, and thanks for being with us here at Expand North Star. You can see we've got an audience full of young, hungry, and excited founders and investors that are here, and we want to learn about this story of Blackberry. I mean, first of all, I need to tell you, when I came to the UAE in 2010, the first thing that was given to me on day one was a Blackberry.
Of course.
Right? Were you a Blackberry user yourself?
100%. They had to rip it out of my hand.
They had to rip it out of your hand. You're like, I don't want to give it away. Tell us a little bit about really, Blackberry has always been about security, it's been about trust, it's been about innovation. Is there anything left over when you think about the legacy that Blackberry built during the smartphone era?
Yeah. The all about BlackBerry, security, trust, and innovation, as you mentioned, Flo. That has been the core, the heritage, the value proposition. And while it's not something that you hold in the palm of your hands today in the form of a device with a keyboard, that value proposition of providing security and innovation and peace of mind to customers, we deliver today with software and services all around the world.
Now, there's great achievements that you have, and we'll talk about them in a moment, but let's stay for a moment in that era where smartphone was the company when it came to building smartphones, and BlackBerry was the company, and then there was this transition where you had a decline and eventually a pivot was needed. You had to study, of course, the entire history. Are there any challenges that really stood out to you and that the founders can take away from you?
Just try to make fast decisions. Don't wait too long. I think inarguably, sometimes when you see a good idea is not working anymore, make the pivot, move in that direction, ride the wave. If you see a fork in the road, as Yogi Berra said, take it, move. You got to make it. You got to make some actions, and that's what we did to pivot the company to a completely different company today. Software and services in secure communications and embedded software.
So describe for us that moment, 2023, you were already in the business, but then you took over the helm as a CEO. What state did you get the company handed over? How was it for you?
Yeah, there was a lot going on at the time. Sales were declining, we were losing money, we were burning cash. I think we were at a point in time where we really had to do something, and that was kind of the impetus for really simplifying our business and focusing on a couple of things that we do really well and getting out of all of the distractions. There's so many times when you're trying to remake the company, you get into a lot of different cool ideas. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what, this one is good, let's double down on that. Everything else becomes a distraction. That helped us, I think, really get to the next level of our business.
So really making the right calls and also sometimes the tough calls.
Exactly.
And then here it comes. QNX is a key part of your business. And let me ask you all a question. Does anybody in the audience know what QNX is, what they do? That's an incredible thing.
That is.
You're absolutely become a hidden champion.
We need better marketing, obviously.
Well, you do need better marketing, maybe, or maybe not, because with QNX you work for BMW, you work for Audi, you work for Mercedes, you work for basically all the important car manufacturers. Tell us a little bit about that business.
QNX is, probably all of you are using QNX today. We're in 265 million cars around the world. We are the premier operating system for software in the car. And that is one of the pivots that we made. We doubled down on it. We now serve every car manufacturer in the world except Tesla, because Tesla does their own thing. And QNX became one of the fastest growing businesses that we have in the BlackBerry family. So very excited about the long-term prospects of it.
And when you have now QNX for cars, first of all, you got to tell us about that future outlook that you told me earlier, because right now I was really surprised about that stat. 20% of the cars are only high-tech cars, while 80% of the cars that are being produced right now are low-tech cars, very simple. what does that mean for the future of QNX? What's going to happen?
Tremendous opportunity for us, because in the 90 million cars get made a year, 80% of the 90 million are using very basic software, a very basic chipset. 20% are the more advanced cars with more advanced technology. In the 20%, BlackBerry and QNX enjoys 95% market share. So in the future, as this inverts, as the basic software becomes less and the more advanced software in the car, you've got companies like NVIDIA now that are making high-powered chips to operate autonomous vehicles. QNX is the standard that's going to be driving all of that. So we're very excited about the long-term prospects for our QNX business.
Which means we should maybe invest in a few BlackBerry stocks?
Let's just say I think we're a little undervalued based on where we're going.
Now that's such an incredible part. And QNX is one massive part of the business, but then there's another part of the business, and that's all about the security. And I learned that 19 of the G20 nations are working with you, 7 out of the 7 G nations are working with you, as well as 8 of the 10 global banks are all involved. What is exactly that business all about?
Yeah, secure communications in so many ways is what BlackBerry started with. And our secure communications, we serve governments, we serve large banks, we serve critical infrastructure providers, companies that have a lot of things that they need to protect. If you want, bring your own device and it's the Wild West and do whatever you want, you're probably not using a BlackBerry software solution. If you're working for a large government, if you're working for a large enterprise company, if you're working for a large bank that's got a lot of things to protect, you're probably using some part of BlackBerry's secure communications portfolio. And that's the second division that represents what we do today.
And with that division, how do you scale it? Because, as I said, you're already working with 19 of the G20. Who's left? Is it easy for you to scale the business, or will that be a challenge?
You know, a lot of this is new opportunities. I'm sure many of you heard about the Signal Gate issue, where the defense secretary in the US was sending texts on Signal. BlackBerry provides a military-grade, NATO-certified, top-classified Signal version called SecuSuite, and it has very quickly become one of the fastest-growing segments of our business. WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, it's fine. Everyday users, consumers. Big companies, big governments that have a lot of things to protect, they need something a little bit more hardcore than that. And that's a product that is really growing by leaps and bounds right now.
That is amazing to hear. Now, let's talk a bit about the future, because we have been talking here on the stage for the last 3 days in almost every session about AI. AI is changing everything. So therefore, how does BlackBerry see AI? Are you using a lot of AI, first of all?
You know, kind of the way I'm wired, we use it pragmatically. So we use it, one use case is how we use it inside the company. Using AI for our HR, finance, marketing, kind of how we operate the business to be smarter, to be more efficient. We use it to develop our products. In our development, in our testing, in our support, we use AI in certain use cases. And then in certain cases, we actually embed it in the product. We're a little bit careful because a lot of what we do is mission critical types of things. So experimenting with AI when you're supporting a car that's driving around really fast down the highway, you got to be a little bit careful what kind of AI technology you're going to leverage. We are using that inside the products in very, very specific ways. So inside the company, how we develop our products, and inside the products are kind of the 3 use cases that we get leverage out of AI.
So your AI is not really the one that is visible, the .ai, it's more of it's underlying, you don't need to see it to make actually your life better.
I think that's a good way of saying it, Flo.
That is fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about how we can help to inspire our audience. You have 34 years of experience in the tech sector, and I'm sure that as a CEO of BlackBerry's, very often a startup will approach you. They're involved in many sorts of solutions that also can eventually add value to you. So what kind of a pitch would you entertain? What qualities does a founder need to have, and what qualities of a pitch would you like to see?
I would say be creative, go after it, dream big, think big, but fail fast. If you see something's not working, pull the plug on it, divert your resources, focus on the other idea. Continuing to invest in an idea that isn't going anywhere. Have the discipline, because it's hard. It's really hard sometimes, because you put your energy, your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears into pulling back from it and saying, you know what, we actually got to go in a different direction, can sometimes be really difficult. Fail fast, pivot into the right direction, and double down on it. And that's some of the learnings that I've taken from some of my experiences.
That's a great advice. The other part that I want to ask you, of course, is you're a listed company, so therefore there's a lot of communication with the board, with stakeholders, and so on and so forth. So in your experience, what is the best way to communicate and to manage investors?
I would say just be transparent. Tell them what's working, tell them what's not working. Always be transparent, whether it's your investors, whether it's your board, most importantly, your people. Tell your people when you have an all hands what's working in the company, what's not working in the company. This is where the direction we're going. If people know how their work impacts the direction of the company, you're going to have so much better engagement, you're going to have so much better loyalty, you're going to have so much better support. So overall, transparency to all your stakeholders, be true to them, be upfront with them, and whatever the decision made gets made, but I think you'll get much more benefits out of being transparent with your stakeholders.
Being transparent, that's always a good advice. Now let's bring it back to the leadership level. As the founders are rising, the teams are growing at a rapid pace, and that means from one day to another, you have to become a leader. You have to manage people. You've got years and years of experience when it comes to that, and they call you the Bruce Springsteen of business. So what is your secrets to really being a great leader?
My recommendation for everybody out there, try to find that happy medium between hubris and humility. There's some times where you got to be on your front foot with hubris. You're making a pitch, you want to be aggressive, you want to be confident. There's the right time for that. Also, humility. When you're with your people, when you're with your investors, when you're trying to just relate to people, being authentic and being genuine, if you could find that happy medium, sometimes you got to be on your front foot, other times you just got to be you. You just got to be a person and tell people as it is. That's what I've always tried to do over the 30 plus years that I've been in industry, and it certainly helped me.
That's always good, finding the balance, because on one side or the other, you will only find the right center in the center. Too
much ego is not a good thing. Have a good ego, have a good healthy ego, but at the same time, be a person, be authentic, that's in my mind kind of the best way for you to connect with people.
That's absolutely right. We're almost at the end of the time, so I want to leave you actually with a bit of a thought for the audience. If you would say, here's one more message that BlackBerry, that John Giamatteo wants to send to the audience here in Dubai after experiencing also GITEX Global for a few days, what are you seeing? The environment here, you could feel the innovation, you could feel the energy, you could feel how much opportunity here is in the region. We're super proud to be part of it. I wish all of you in the crowd the best of luck as you move down your endeavors. But from a BlackBerry perspective, we made the pivot. We used to have handsets. Now our products power cars, they power communications of nation states. You never know where it's going to take you. Just keep driving forward, make quick decisions, fail fast, be human, and have a great time doing it. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, John Giamatteo, CEO of Blackberry.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, John.
Flo, thank
Absolutely
you.
fantastic.
Thank you so much.